Body image and self-esteem starts in the mind, not in the mirror. Once upon a time, my grandmother said to me, "You used to be an ugly little thing." It's not the words that kept me, but it's now the memory that I share. So, what has prompted this conversation? Well, in a group that I'm a part of, there was a post that read, "Is there any mothers dealing with body image issues with their daughter?" Now, today, the conversation I want to have with you about body image is not about the technical steps, but the emotional legacy you want to leave behind. Hey guys, this is PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor, and as always, I hope that you're having a great day. And as you can probably guess, today we'll be talking about body image. Okay, so there are 3 points that I'm going to talk to you about today, and they are attributes, championship, and fuel. Okay, now the attribute I am going to focus on, is not about your physical appearance. You know, whether you like your nose, whether you like your hair. I'm not going to talk about any of those things. What I am focusing on, though, is figuring out that one thing that you do well. Because a lot of times we don't see ourselves in a positive light, but when you have conversations with other people, you can kind of figure out, oh, wow, so that's how they see me, and that is what I do well. What is the one thing that, and I'm not, like I said, this is not about your physical appearance. What is the one thing that you can do in life that if you never got paid for it, that you would still do it anyway? That's what I want you to focus on. Because when I talk about the emotional legacy you want to leave behind, you want to leave a legacy, an image, a promoting self-esteem kind of thing, in the fact of, you know what, I came into this world, I showed up, I served the people well. Why? Because I lived in my purpose. Because I was determined not to let what the world thinks about me, what I'm constantly hearing out of my own mouth sometimes, because you know what? We can be our worst enemy. Other people can see us in this grand, great scheme, a great scheme kind of way, I guess you want to say that. And then we see ourselves as, you know what? I'm not capable of getting this, or that done, because I know what I'm talking about, because I do that myself as well. But I really want you to focus in on that one thing that you do absolutely well that nobody can beat you at. Now, it may take some time for you to figure what that is and really drill down on that. But if you spend your time on doing that, and then you don't worry about what the mirror says about you, right? Because there are some places, let's just be honest, that each one of us would like to tweak and fix, even if it's the sound of your voice, even if it's the texture of your hair. There will always be something to fix. But if we can spend more time on the things that are positive, that are self-promoting, they will definitely influence others to see their own ability. They will allow people to trust you in times of uncertainty. And then when that person needs some self-motivation, some self-encouragement, guess who they'll be looking up? You. Okay, so point number 2, be your own champion, right? I have a little post in my rooms that says, post yourself happy. And this is how I want to show up in the world. I want to be a place that is so positive that being negative doesn't even have a place anymore, right? But I also know that starts with being my own champion. And I want to encourage you to do the same, because let me tell you, nobody's ever going to encourage you the way that you really need to hear it. It's not going to be in the time space that you need it. And sometimes it's just going to be like, you know what, you need to just pick yourself up and get over it. And a lot of times that don't even fly. So what I would encourage you to do is just find ways to keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself uplifted. And you know the positiveness starts here first. It doesn't go out and then come back. You have to really, within yourself, understand how you want to show up in the world, how you're created, how you really want your voice to be heard in the world. That is a choice that you make. I literally keep things that speak to the strength within me. I usually have a lot of things that I listen to and watch that really just feed the soul. Because if I did everything with an emotional bent, that would not be pretty. Because I am also figuring out that if I take out the emotion of, and generally mostly everything in my life, I won't be upset. I won't feel like crying or somebody's against me. If I take the emotional side out, I don't do this raging thing on the inside. If I take the emotional side out, then I can really see people for who they are, understand from where they come, how they view things in the world, really truly have a conversation where I can listen, where I can really understand other people. Because if I truly want to be a voice in a world that so needs positivity, that needs good energy, then I really have to put myself on the back burner. I really have to understand that to find that strength within myself is the huge power play, the key to unlock so much of the places and situations and in areas in my life that will enable me to enlarge my territory, to speak and reach beyond what my mind can imagine. And if you're able to find a way to champion yourself, there again, the body image thing goes out the window. You don't worry about, what you have on or the way it makes you feel, or if your hair is in a good place today, so therefore your mental state of mind is good. Body image, as I'm telling you, really starts in the mind and then it works its way out, right? Point number 3, use your failure as a fuel. Now, my grandmother telling me that I used to be an ugly little thing. Now, that could have turned out very differently. Now, my grandmother's words could have been true to this end, right? So when I was younger, I had to wear thick glasses because I have what they call the lazy eye. So my glasses were like really thick. I had this, extremely beautiful dark skin. I could not do that paper bag test like back in the day that suggested, I was light enough to pass, because looking at your girl, I cannot pass. My hair has always been, now wearing it, short and natural now, only because for me, it's about making sure that my health, my short hair now signifies to me that I'm working on my health. I'm managing my physical and mental. Back in the day, when when my hair had to be done, every 2 weeks, sometimes every week, putting the chemicals on my hair and making it relax. It was about, because if my hair wasn't good, then my mental state was, all over the place. So for me now, short nappy hair, it's just a signal that, Pam, you are really focusing in on making sure the body is healthy, making sure that you're in a good space. So these things could have suggested what my grandmother said to me, that, hey, you used to be an ugly little thing, right? But here's the thing, like back in the day, my mom told me, one is probably enough times, or many times, that I was attractive. Now in my mind, I thought, is that code for ugly? But as I've come to understand, what my mom was telling me is that I have qualities that attract people to me. And that is more valuable to me now that, I'm older, because when I look in the mirror, I'm good with me. Has nothing to do with, like I'm telling you, it's not about the body image to the fact of, oh my God, I'm a size 5, I got everything in order, because that's not the truth. As I'm walking through life and as I'm experiencing different situations in my body, and as the body changes over time, there are just things that I have to do differently now. But being attractive, that means I have a positive attitude in my head. That means that my smile brings people joy. That means that the kindness that is within me is spreading out into the world, because why? I want to be of service. So I truly want you to dig down and find the attributes that you can focus in on, to be your own champion, and to let your failure be a fuel rather than a way of shaming you and making you feel guilty, right? And that will give you a great positive body image. That's where it starts. Remember, it starts in the mind and it works its way out. That's how I use also those words that could have been negative that my grandmother said to me in a positive way. There are things in life that you just have to flip. You just have to turn them around and understand that, you know what? All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Okay? Now, I want to talk to you about, because your girl is absolutely in love with essential oils. Okay? I don't know if you can really see the title of this one, but it's called One Heart. And what One Heart does is this oil puts you in this state of mind of love and acceptance, and that is key, right? For you to continue to move through how you view yourself, how you allow people's words to affect you. And it helps you to appreciate just being yourself. I wish you could smell this oil. Oh my God, that is so divine. And I just really cannot wait for you to get you a bottle of One Heart. Now, One Heart, because words can charge the heart. They really can charge the heart, right? And then they move to the head. And so what you begin to believe and to think is what you speak. That makes the difference in the atmosphere. That's how your life is changed. That is how we go out here and we make a difference in the world. Does that make sense? So, here's what I want you to leave with today. To breathe and balance, right? Breathe deeply as you focus on what matters the most. Because, what I have put into practice is the ability to just, okay, Pam, breathe. Just take a few minutes. You're okay. Nothing is bothering you. And this too shall pass, right? To live and to love works to strengthen a connection with yourself and others, because we understand ultimately what becomes out here is what starts here first. You have to have a love for yourself and to live in a balanced way by breathing, right? In those situations where you feel like something is about to jump off and it don't need to. Uplift and strength. Find your center and edify your spirit. Know what it is that you need, how you're created, how you're built, how things, resonate in your head and on your heart, and how you can move forward from the things that seem to challenge you and to put you in a place of unrest. Okay? So, I want to leave you with 3 books that I have written. The first one is You Are God's Love Story. Now, You Are God's Love Story is an adoption of a daughter, not his own. Acceptance of a son but denial of me, right? And so, if you haven't heard my story long enough, or haven't heard my story at all, I am one who dealt with daddy issues. So, a little bit of this book is about my experience, and then what God has done to change, to flip the script in my own life, right? To find hope, joy, forgiveness, and understanding. Even in times and situations that sometimes having a voice, you don't feel like you're being heard. But this book, I hope, will help you understand that it is in that relationship with God first that you find that secure love in the value that you seek. The next book is Daddy, You Can Hold My Hand. Now, this one is what it looks like to not have your dad. Now, this is more for the younger child, to not have your dad there. But then to have God send somebody like a big brother, a stepfather, or an uncle, or a cousin, who can step into those places to help you maneuver through life with a strong male companion to back you up, right? And then finally, Ordinary Princess. And I was going to read from chapter 5 of the book, which is called A Story About Optimism, but I'm not going to do that because I'm short of time. But Ordinary Princess is the established principles of the Proverb 31 woman, and you will absolutely enjoy that because there is this little underlining story that runs through the book, and I think that you will absolutely get great benefit from reading the book. All three of the books. I want you to pick them up. And how can you pick these up? You can go to Lulu. That is www.lulu.com. That's LULU. /spotlight/Pico, and that's PCOHEN. But I will have all of that in the description up under the video. And if you want to get a bottle of One Heart, all you got to do is send me an email to Mathis, that's MATHIS, at pewpartners.com with the subject line One Heart, and let me have a conversation with you about how you can get started and get you a bottle of One Heart. So guys, this has been Body Image. I hope that this has been beneficial to you, and if it has, remember to subscribe, like, and share. And I want you to remember this: I love you, and I live to serve you. And as always, 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 I want you to what? Be blessed. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.